Hey folks, it's JonDarr, that science guy from the Great Lakes Science Center. We're so excited to have you here with us as we celebrate all weekend long 20 years of continuous human presence aboard the International Space Station. Now today we've got two special guests who have joined us, and their company has a unique involvement with space and space exploration, and it's a pleasure to have them. From Olmsted Township nearby here to Cleveland, Kevin Lumby, he's a platform manager with Moen, and also joining us from the San Francisco Bay Area is Gabe Parisi-Amon. He's an entrepreneur and co-founder and CEO of Nebia. Guys, welcome to the show. We're so excited to have you here with us. You know, I got to tell you, I know a little bit about Moen. I recently had a house that was built, and I've got Moen faucets, and those faucets are phenomenal. They do great work in the kitchen and great faucets for the bath, and they've even got shower heads that are just out of this world. But I want to know a little bit more about Nebia. Gabe, perhaps you can tell us more about Nebia for people like me who just don't know a whole bunch about it.
Sure, I'd be happy to. Nebia started over 6 years ago with the idea to transform how people interact with water by building innovative products that people love and are better for the planet. The idea actually started out with my co-founder, who was living in Mexico City at the time, and he was running a big chain of gyms. And one of his biggest variable costs was water and heating the water. His dad was a retired engineer and tinkerer, and they were talking one day, and they realized that, honestly, you had to be able to build a better shower that was better both for the customer, it felt better, and used less water. And so as they were talking, they kind of came up with this idea that, hey, we could build something that is better. Soon after that, I met them. They had a prototype for a shower that used commercial industrial nozzle technology. And it was just that what they had imagined. It was a better shower experience and it used less water. Fast forward 6 years, we're 3 showers in. We've partnered with Moen to deliver what we believe is the best shower in the world, and hopefully one day outside of this world, to everyone.
Wow, Gabe, that's really, really exciting to hear. You know, we're on the edge of one of the largest freshwater lakes in the world, right on the shores of Lake Erie here at the Great Lakes Science Center. So we know the importance of water, and we don't take it for granted. So figuring out there's a great shower that uses less water is pretty phenomenal. Now, you got to tell me, what's the technology that's involved with that?
Absolutely. So the technology is called atomization. And essentially what happens is you take a stream of water and you break it up into tiny little droplets. By controlling the size of those droplets and the speed of those droplets, we can produce a shower experience that's not just better for the customer, but also uses less water. And so we spend a lot of time really designing those droplets, the pattern of the droplets, how the user experiences it on their skin to make sure it's the best possible shower experience. And we've worked with Moen to not just make this something that is a fantastic experience for some people, but it can be for all people. And they've done a lot of design, and we've worked together to make a really amazing shower.
That's really neat and so exciting. Now, Kevin, I know that you're a platform manager with Moen. I've got to ask you, how does this tie in? This new technology that was developed. How does that tie in, and how is NASA using it?
Well, so if you think about combustion, the atomization process is important to combustion because you have to mix fuel with your oxygen. It's liquid hydrogen on the ISS. But the best way to get an efficient chemical reaction for the engines that keep the ISS in its position in orbit is to put the right amount and the right size of particles next to each other in the best mix possible. The precision involved in the combustion process is very important because NASA can't be spending a lot of money wasting fuel or having an inefficient reaction.
That's true. For every pound that you have to send aloft, that's a lot of fuel, and that just adds to the weight. Exactly. It's a catch-22. So having a more efficient engine, a more efficient way of getting the fuel and the oxygen together so it combusts properly in the engine, I can see how that would make a big difference. That's really fascinating. Kevin, while I've got you here, what other connections do you have with NASA?
So there's other interesting things that we've had to do to achieve this atomization in the shower. One of which, as Gabe spoke to, is to make a shower that works for all users. Users vary in height, and users have differences in water pressure coming from their municipalities. So as those users need to get the optimal experience out of the Nebia showerhead, there's a few, I guess, technical challenges to overcome. The droplets, the smaller the droplet, the more likely it is to lose heat as it travels to your body. So there's an optimal position for the showerhead above the user that will deliver the heat and the velocity and the coverage that Nebia has researched users want out of their shower experience. Another important difference, as I mentioned, is the incoming pressure. Because of the precision of the atomization and what that requires, we have to deliver very consistent pressure to the nozzles. And as we go up in line pressure, we need a compensating device that knocks it down so that users with low pressure and users with high pressure can experience the same great shower in the Nebia.
Very, very cool. Very cool. You've told us so much about this new shower head and about the shower as a whole. I have to ask you, since we are talking about NASA and the International Space Station, you know, there's no shower on the ISS. There was a shower on America's first space station. That was Skylab a number of years ago. But is there any chance it will see a product like this on the International Space Station, or perhaps on the Gateway Station around the moon, or even on a lunar outpost, or perhaps one day even on Mars?
Well, water is very heavy, as is fuel. So Nebia is the kind of shower you would want to get the greatest experience you can using the least amount of water.
All right. Well, Gabe, I think you've got your work cut out for you.
Yeah, if anyone from NASA is listening, we would be happy to work with you guys and women to make that happen. It would be a dream for us.
I love it. I love it. That's just about all the time that we've got for this segment. But I want to thank you both for joining us. That's Kevin with Moen and my good friend Gabe coming and contacting us all the way from San Francisco. Gabe with Nebia. For those of you that are here in the Science Center, please take time to stop by and check out some of the exhibits in the extraordinary NASA gallery. Don't forget about the carts and the great shows that we have just for you all weekend long. On behalf of all of us here at the Great Lakes Science Center, remember to stay curious.